braids and the scraped shins hidden from his punishing antiseptics. Tonight, he would also see cheeks and eyelids stained bright yellow from marigold pollen. He spent a lifetime noticing small details from a distance. From the doorway, he smells the bitterness of crushed marigold petals on their skin. There is a deeper draft of breath, and they both move a little. Their long hair falls together across the sheet, the colors blending, the curled strands curving gently around the straight. He feels a constriction around his heart that isn't disease but pure, simple pain, and he knows he would weep if he could. Not for the river he can't cross to reach his children, not for distance, but the opposite. For how close together these two are, and how much they have to lose, how much they've already lost in their lives to come. Cosima. Chapter 2. Hallie's Bones. I am the sister who didn't go to war. I can only tell you my side of the story. Hallie is the one who went south with her pickup truck and her crop disease books and her heart dead set on a new world. Who knows why people do what they do? I stood on a battleground once, too, but it was 40 years after the fighting was all over. Northern France, in 1982, in a field where the farmers' plow blades kept turning up the skeletons of cows. They were the first casualties of the German occupation. In the sudden quiet after the evacuation, the cows had died by the thousands in those pastures, slowly, lowing with pain from unmilked udders. But now the farmers who grew sugar beets in those fields were blessed, they said, by the bones. The soil was rich in calcium. 3 years later, when my sister talked about leaving Tucson to work in the cotton fields around Chinandega, where farmers were getting ambushed while they walked home with their minds on dinner, all I could think of was France. Those long, flat fields of bone-fed green. Somehow we protect ourselves. It's the nearest I could come to imagining Nicaragua, even though I know the bones in that ground aren't animal bones. She left in August, after the last rain of the season. Summer storms in the desert are violent things, and clean. They leave you feeling like you have cried. Hallie had never left me before. It was always the other way around, since I'm 3 years older and have had to do things first. She would just be catching up when I'd go again, swimming farther out into life because I still hadn't found a rock to stand on. Never because I wanted to leave. Hallie and I were so attached, like keenly mismatched Siamese twins conjoined at the back of the mind. We parted again and again, and still each time it felt like a medical risk, as if we were being liberated at some terrible cost, the price of a shared organ. We never stopped feeling that knife. But she went. And true to the laws of family physics, the equal and opposite reaction, I was soon packed up too and headed northeast on a Greyhound bus. In our divergent ways, I believe we were both headed home. I was bound for Grace, Arizona, where Hallie and I were born and raised, and where our father still lived and was said to be losing his mind. It was a Sunday. I had a window seat, and in a Greyhound you're up high. You pass through the land like some Raja on an elephant looking down on your kingdom, which in this case was a scorched, bristling landscape and the tops of a lot of cars. It wasn't all that different from my usual view of life because I'm tall, like my father and Hallie. I don't look like who I am. They do, but I don't. It was mid-morning when I stepped down off the bus in Grace, and I didn't recognize it. Even in 14 years, it couldn't have changed much, though, so I knew it was just me. Grace is made of things that erode too slowly to be noticed. Red granite canyon walls, orchards of sturdy old fruit trees past their prime, a shamelessly unpolluted sky.